what is PBN? It's just a simple term for a private blog network. Okay, private blog network, right? It's just a network of websites that we create and link to our website, our money site. Okay, and we do it where we theme it to our niche. And we also, the way we link it, when we put the anchor text, we play around with the anchor text so we know exactly how to move the website for our keyword. Okay, so remember I said, if you have a website and you want to push it to the top, if the backlinks that are linking to the website is all the backlinks are from websites that have a higher domain authority, then it's more powerful, right? So we can wait until we get popular, our business gets popular. What does Google want? You start a business, okay, you keep building a business, and one day CNN will talk about you, your local newspaper will talk about you and link to you, and that's the signal to, you know, Google, and it'll start pushing you up, right? It's a high domain authority link. I can't wait 2-3 years for my rank and run site to be hopefully picked up by a heavy duty website and linked to me. So I started creating my own powerful network of websites. Does that make sense? Okay. How do I do that? I find expired domains that have powerful, when I say powerful, basically many backlinks going to it. So there are websites, domains. I go to this place called registercompass.com. And there are other ways you can go, expireddomains.net, things like that. I go here, this is a $35 a month, but it is very, very more cleaner domains, right? I'm going to show you what I mean by that, right? This is just a directory, if you will, a service where you can buy domains that are expired auction, and we'll cover what these mean, okay? And I explain as I go. So right now, all I'm going to do for here is it's got a bunch of permutations, combinations. I want to find websites that have a domain authority of at least 15 and higher. That's it. Okay. And I say find domain. So what is it doing now? Look, in a few seconds, it found 41,000 domains that are in auction, 67 expired, 4,000 expiring. So what do I mean by that, right? In a normal world, forget SEO again, right? Let's just take an example of Ed. He's smiling, he's happy, okay? Ed, for the last 5 years, has edman.com, some website where he talks about himself because he loves himself. Just a hypothetical, right? For 5 years, he has his website, edman.com. He writes about himself. It became popular. Everybody's following Ed, right? And over time, 100 different domains, websites have started writing about him and linking to him. So his local newspaper wrote about him and say, hey, check out this guy, edman.com. He's awesome. Here, click here to visit his website. Is amazing, right? And over time, this website has built a high domain authority. Does that make sense? It's just over time, they've got a lot of backlinks. They started getting some traffic. Ed is popular. One fine day, Ed decides, you know what? I'm done, man. I'm done being popular, or I'm done doing this website stuff. I want to just go to Hawaii, live under a tree for the rest of my life. And he does not renew his domain, right? Or whatever the reason. It could be, let's just go as an example and see what kind of websites are there, right? You'll find all kinds of domains, but you'll get an idea. Why would people not renew the domains, okay? Anytime you find domains like 000.com, 000.com, 000, all these nonsensical, have no idea what this is about names. These are domain brokers creating these and trying to sell them. Stay away, right? But if I go to page 8 or page 9, I may find some real expired domains. Let's find one of them. Okay, we're still in the 300s and all that. Let's just sort this by now, maybe. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to find. I'm just going to sort it in a different way, or filter it in a different way, so I can find some legit looking domains, so you understand. All right. So here we go. Right. Look, akshariyapublication.com. Chances are high this was some kind of a publication, most likely in India, because it's an Indian name, right? Probably had a publication and then they stopped publishing it or whatever. And so now we can go ahead and buy it. Does that make sense? AfricanNewsLive.com looks like this is the niche they are in, the category. Looks like some kind of a news website for African stuff, right? You can keep going down this and you can find other websites that at one point in my time, they were real websites, real business websites, real some kind of websites that for whatever reason, they forgot to renew. They just went out of business in COVID, so they don't need the website anymore, stuff like that. Baseball, baking, and books.com. Somebody who loves baseball, baking, and books, they ran this most likely. And then they stopped it. Does that make sense? So basically, the overview is I'm going to find websites that are expired. So when Ed, as an example, decides one fine day, I'm not going to renew this website. This website comes to renewal February 2nd, 2023. I'm not going to renew it because I decided I just want to go sit under a tree, whatever reason, right? So this then in the domain space goes into a bucket called auction domains. They give you some time. First, they give some time to Ed, right? If Ed doesn't renew within the time, then it goes to an auction bucket where other people like you and I can bid on it and buy it. If still nobody decides to buy it, it goes into the expiring bucket. It's like the end of the grace period. And if it's still there's nobody buys it, it goes into the expired bucket. Does that make sense? Now, let's take the example of whatever this is. One of the main things I want to see is is it still indexed or not. In this case, this is still indexed. You see, it's got, even though it says untitled and all that, this is still showing up indexed, right? So it's good. It's in the auction bucket. If it goes from auction bucket to expired or expiring, let's just take something like this, right? It may not be, oh, there's actually a website like that, wow, right? It comes up, it doesn't come up, then it's not indexed anymore, okay? So the reason I don't go for expired or expiring, and you can try this out with yourself, but I usually go for auction domains is because I want to find ones that are indexed. Does that make sense? Because nobody knows the truth, because only Google knows the Google algorithm. But the SEO the SEO industry knowledge is that if the website is not indexed anymore, it loses the link juice of all the links that are coming to it. Does that make sense? There's actually something called link juice, the power of the links coming in. So you can test around with that. I'm just going to go for auction domain. Yes, Roger has got a question. Anyone's got a question? Go ahead.
So there's a few factors that we're using to evaluate which are the good expired sites. And
yes,
think about it, there are other sites with high DA pointing to this expired thing. How would you rate the relative factors? Because I could have just a few external websites that are high DA, or I could have many external websites that are lower DA.
Yep.
And then the backlinks will typically point to pages that do not exist, right? So how does that all factor into? Comes
back again to the important ranking signals, right? Keyword in URL, keyword in title, clean backlinks. When I say clean anchor text / backlinks, and we'll go over that. Pretty much this is what it is. And then of course, the number of backlinks, the more, the better, right? So if I give you an example, you'll understand. Let's find one. So I can go and say, find me with 60 and about domain authority, right? In the local space, if you just find with more than 10 or 12 is good. Now, in our case, we want to rank for concrete contractor Pasadena, right? So if I can find a domain that has concrete in it, because it has keyword in the URL. So if I can find, let's say Ed had a concrete company and he stopped renewing it. So, and his domain is www.edconcrete.com. I can take that as far as the other things are also make sense, and we'll cover that because it's got keyword in the URL. So one of the first things I usually do is I actually put my keyword, either concrete, the service, or I can put Pasadena, the city I want to rank for. I put domain authority of higher than 12. Now let's do find domains. We had 41,000 before. Now look at that, 23. So when we start narrowing down and filtering most important things we want to look for, it starts coming lesser and lesser, right? Now with this 23, we want to find out the good ones. Right away, look at this. $1,400 for a domain. I'm not going to pay $1,000. Anything more than 20, 30, 40 bucks, I'm not going to pay, right? So you can eliminate these ones and find the first one. Maybe this one looks good, $40, right? concreteinnovationsinc.com. Chances are high this was a real domain. First thing I'm going to look for is it still indexed? Yes, it's indexed. Okay. Second thing I'm going to look for is I'm going to put it in Ahrefs and see how many backlinks it's got, and if the backlinks are clean or something like Viagra, porn, pharmaceutical, buy Nike shoe, like spammy backlinks, right? So it's not like a science. This is exactly what you got to buy. It's an art, right?
Sure.
You know what I like about this already? This is still ranking for some keywords. You see that? Let's come to that one. Okay. Now, if you don't want to pay for Ahrefs, what you can do is you can go and search within double quotes, and you can see, look, they had a Pinterest, they had a LinkedIn, they had some Home Advisor. They were a real company once upon a time, and they even have citations up and running. It's coming up. You see that?
Saravanan, can I jump in for a sec?
Sure, yeah.
Just wanted to give some tips when it comes to our PBNs. Wayback Machine is a good place to check what happened, what was the last thing that happened to your potential PBN. Before we buy it, we go onto Wayback to see if it's already been used in the PBN way. So if you go on there and you see something in a language other than English, and the domain was clearly in English, then it was already used, and chances are it's not going to send any power to you. Another useful tip, pbn.ltd. Somebody asked earlier about what to do if the links are going to pages no longer exist. pbn.ltd, you can do a one-click rebuild of an old existing site if it's located in Wayback Machine, and you can basically bring back the site with all of its links.
Advanced. You're going advanced. This is helpful, yes, but this is advanced. But no, this is helpful. No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we're still like, what is the PBN? This is the football. Okay, but I appreciate that. You got it. But what she said is this Wayback Machine. I actually show this, I think, in the PBN module. You can put your link over here and browse history, and it will show at different points in time. Look, in 2023, 2022, you can click on this. So 2022, most recent, you see the highlight over here. Oops. This is the most recent. Like, you can click on this. There's a snapshot of it in some point in time, and you can look what it looked like. Okay, so this was not indexed at the time. Go back here, maybe find the next one.
Is the most immediate effect the expired site's domain authority, and therefore you're gonna send the link juice from the high domain authority over in that single step? Then the other links from other sites that point to it are kind of, maybe they're just for the future. Maybe that tells how the domain authority is going to degrade over time or something, or how natural it looks, or I'm just trying to get
the most important thing is the number of backlinks it's got. So let's just take a look at, this was a real company once upon a time, a real business. It was all about concrete, right? That's what Victoria was saying. Put it in Wayback Machine. If sometime towards over here, if this says Viagra, pharmaceutical, whatever, then somebody had bought this and used it as a spammy domain, you don't want to use it, right? But when you come over here, right, you see all of these flows, citation flow, domain authority, page authority, all of these you need to understand are different metrics, mostly man-made. What do I mean by that? When I put this guy in Ahrefs, he's got 47 domains, 116 backlinks. So a lot of backlinks, that is high. Anything about 20, 25 domains in the local space is a pretty powerful one. You can take it and link it to yours, right? It has some good backlinks going. It is powerful. The more backlinks that goes into it, the higher your DA grows, right? The more traffic and all of that comes in, then citation and trust flow and all of that comes in, right? All I look for, I don't look for all these names. I look to see, is the number of backlinks is good. If it's good, then I go all the way down and I see this, the anchor text. Does it look clean? When I say clean, yeah, look, it's all about concrete countertops. Yeah, it doesn't say Nike shoes or all of these crazy spammy things. That's all I look for. Looks good. You can go one step, go to backlinks and see what kind of backlinks and see if you can spot any spammy backlinks. But most of the time, if the anchor text is clean, then even here will be mostly clean. You're seeing it doesn't just Blogspot, Research Giant, they don't look bad. I don't see any Chinese, Japanese, foreign, stuff like that. Does that make sense? Right? And I think it was still ranking for some keywords. Okay, we're not even going there. So